Welcome to this episode of Wellness by Design. I'm so excited to have a beautiful guest today. I love everything this woman says. Debora Wayne, welcome to Wellness by Design.
Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for bringing me back. I'm just happy to be with you and your community today.
I'm so happy to have you here. So for the people that don't know you yet, I'm going to read your bio. So here we go. Debora Wayne is the founder and CEO of the International Chronic Pain Institute. She's a world-renowned energy healer whose leading-edge non-drug method known as HighSpeed Healing has virtually helped tens of thousands around the world to rapidly release chronic pain, depression, anxiety, trauma, battles with weight, binge eating, chronic fatigue, insomnia, and other conditions. There's nothing she can't do. A highly sought after speaker and #1 best-selling author of Why Do I Still Hurt? Debora has earned degrees and certifications in psychology, hypnotherapy, and chemical dependency counseling, has 35 plus years practicing and teaching meditation. She's an internationally recognized glass artist, a former professional modern dancer, certified yoga instructor, and leads the only practitioner training worldwide in her proprietary method known as HighSpeed Healing. So, Debora, I'm so honored to have you here. So, you're just, I love the work that you do. I love the message that you share. And I know, because I know some of your history, I know that you've come to this work through your own experience. So let's hear a little bit about that. Oh, you're muted, Debora.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Sorry. I came to this experience via the path of health hell, I call it. And it really wasn't a very pretty journey. Years ago, I uh, woke up one morning after many years of struggling but hiding it very, very well. And I woke up one morning with just pain from head to toe, and my pain made no sense. And my hair was falling out, and I had ulcers. I couldn't eat a thing without horrible stomach aches. I had insomnia. I drank wine every night until I passed out because I couldn't sleep. I had just aches and pains, my joints, my muscles, um, so many things. My PMS was so bad. Every month, I was for 3 to 5 days be just flat, having to lie down and take painkillers. I couldn't even function. And I was filled with anxiety and depression. And I just couldn't take it anymore. And I had gone through many doctors and taken many tests, and it either said, there's nothing wrong with you, or the things that they did find, like they found an under a low thyroid, I would take everything as prescribed and nothing worked and nothing changed. So the doctors were baffled. I was baffled. I was afraid. And I started seeking natural medicine. I started changing my diet. It didn't even matter what I ate, what I didn't eat, the supplements I took, nothing was changing. And I hit the wall. I just hit the wall. And I had that day, I was so low, at such a low point, I was having suicidal thoughts. And I knew there was a bottle of pills in that drawer, and that could, get me out of my misery. And thank God I didn't try that. I screamed out instead to the ceiling of my closet where I was lying on the floor crying. And I had a spiritual experience as the result of that I was not expecting. I didn't even believe in God. I thought there was nothing greater than Deborah at the time. And what happened was I screamed out, if there's anything out there, please help me. And within seconds, Jane, I stopped crying. I felt the most unbelievable, indescribable sense of peace. The closet and my body was enveloped in this sense of love. And I just knew that I was going to be okay. And I stopped crying. I stood up. I went in the other room. I picked up the phone and I called someone and started asking for help and telling the truth about how I felt and what I had been hiding.
Mm.
And don't get me wrong, it was probably the most frightening day of my life, but it began my healing journey. And I started to get the help that I needed and to unpack all the various pieces of this puzzle that I had been stuffing and suppressing and repressing. And it wasn't going to show up in a medical test because it was deep internal, emotional, mental that was showing up in the physical. And fast forward all those many years, I began to discover what it took for me to heal. And I also had quite a few of these incredible experiences during meditation that showed me, black and white, showed me that everything is energy.
Mhm.
And that I was looking in the wrong place to find the answers. And that the body, even though it appears physical, is actually made of energy and a specific type of vibrational information. And I felt this life force energy and it was flowing through me, through my hands. And I internally, intuitively knew it
Mhm.
was going to be used for healing myself and then other people. And that I had a mission here, a purpose here. And of course, I mean, you can imagine, I thought I was going cuckoo and that everyone else would think I was, a nutcase as well. So I didn't just jump right out and tell the world. It took me quite a long time to work through my fears and doubts about this. But this is what led me to here today with you, Jane.
Mhm.
All the work, the foundation of all of my pain-free living program work, everything I've done over the years, the high-speed healing method, this all came about as the result of my health hell, the reawakening, a change in my consciousness, and then discovering the exact tools that I needed to use to heal.
Mhm.
And there you have it.
Oh my goodness, what an amazing story of, well, rock bottom to really finding a solution that was the real
Yeah,
solution. And I think so many people with health issues they just keep going from one thing to another to another to
yes,
another. And I was doing the same thing. It was natural, but I was doing, okay, it must be the food. Okay, I got to
right.
sleep more. And I need to all those things are important, but it was really for me, and I know the same for you, like realizing this energy, and I love it because it makes sense science wise, right? All backed up by quantum physics that we are energy, and it's really mind blowing when people first hear this. So what kind of reactions do you get from people when you say this? Like, do you feel like people are starting to um, they're starting to kind of come on board with this understanding, or is it still taking some convincing?
Well, there's different people are at different stages of
Yeah.
awakening to this reality because they've been very, very programmed from early childhood by the most of the information that we hear, which is very limited and not based on actual truth.
Hmm.
And so a lot of people, there are people who will just look at me like, what are you talking about? Like that, you can see it just hits a wall. They can't even take it in. And then there are other people who are like, oh, I sense something here is really going on and I know it's true. And they look afraid because they know that they're hearing truth and that it's resonating at some level, but they've also been brainwashed and programmed with a different understanding. And they're what I call wobbling in between the two worlds. And so they are a little afraid to go back into the other world of programming or to step into this. And they're in that in between. And then there are the people who go, oh my God, thank God, because I've known this is true. I
Hmm.
just didn't, I was afraid to talk about it. No one was talking about it, or I've experienced this, or I absolutely am certain. And they're all excited. And they're what I call the trailblazers because they're ahead of the curve. And more people have woken up and are trailblazers now than ever before. There is definitely an acceleration, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
And the really cool thing is all the science, the new science, the biofield science, the physics. We're having a huge renaissance of this information. And so the people that need the science to convince themselves that this is legit because they believe in science as their God, which is fine, they're getting it now. And
Yeah.
then the people who just trust what their experience tells them, they get validated also. And the people who have been interested in ancient spiritual wisdom say, oh my God, it's about time,
Yeah.
because they've known what physics is now saying, and the two worlds are converging. And it's a very exciting time to be alive and to become aware of this information. And it just opens up an entirely new world, a new way of understanding healing and health, and that you're not stuck. You are not stuck in a box
Mhm.
having to cope or manage or live with this pain the rest of your life.
Yeah, I love that. I think it is a very exciting time, and it's also very empowering for people. Like, I mean, it really is a big shift to think that instead of going to someone else to give you things that hopefully might fix you, and they may have bad side effects, um, now the power, it's all on you, and there's
Yes.
nowhere to hide, really, right?
Right.
It's all on you. But so you have tools, you teach people. I know you do some of the healing because you are a healer, and you see energy and can transmit energy, and I know we all can. It's just some people are more attuned to it. But you give people tools as well. So could we talk a little bit about the kind of tools that you share with people?
Yes, absolutely. See, it's imperative that people don't rely on me. They have the body's designed to heal, and your
Mm-hmm.
life is designed to heal and get in alignment with what we sometimes call the flow, the ease, the grace of life. That's our natural state. But when we're off the track, we need tools, and most people are looking outside themselves for who's got the power, where can I plug in. I'm not in charge of people. I can give them a leg up, but what ultimately my goal is to empower them with the tools that will change their thinking and help them to understand that the power is within each and every individual. The answers are within you. I don't have anyone's answers, Jane. I draw the answers out of them and show them, see, you have your answers.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody just helped you go deep enough to find them, nurture them out of you, and help you learn to trust your GPS. You have an inner GPS, and we just need to activate that, turn it back on, and help you trust it. So I do that by working in three areas. One, the mind. The mind is the biggest culprit in the whole problem or solution.
Yes.
And so I help people discover a new way of observing their thinking rather than just believing every thought that they think. Most people are lost believing in every thought they think. And those thoughts came from someone else, somewhere else when they were very little. And they were literally like a computer with no virus protection, just downloading every file. And then decades later, their thinking is based on a faulty belief system and habits of thinking. So I help people find and release the damaging thoughts that are really starting the chain reaction, because
Mhm.
thoughts always have an emotional reaction. The
Yes.
thoughts are like electricity, and then the emotions fuel it.
Yeah.
And emotions are the second area that we must explore. And this is the big, don't bring those emotions near me. This is the big category because we live in a very intellectual society. They don't mind us talking about beliefs and thinking, but don't bring those emotions here. And
Mhm.
so most people have learned very early to suppress, repress, deny, completely disassociate from their emotions, which are authentic and which are a major part of your GPS.
Mhm.
And so I teach people how to, first of all, feel. And I say, in order to heal, you must learn to feel.
Love that.
And where they're stuffing those feelings away in their body, that creates patterns of stress and tension. And we all know that that stress is the root of all dis-ease. You cannot be healthy, happy, and have high energy if you're in dis-ease.
Mhm.
Can't.
Mhm.
So I help them find those emotions. Emotions are just energy. There's nothing to be afraid of. We know from science the average emotion lasts, are you ready for this? The average emotion lasts a whopping 90 seconds.
I think
Here's
we
the
can manage that.
We can manage that, right? But here's the thing. Most people are terrified of their emotions. And the number one reason that emotions get bigger, bolder, louder, and worse and don't leave is when we don't feel them. We don't
Mhm.
allow ourselves to feel them. So the 90 seconds it can turn into 90 years because people are unwilling to feel them. So I
Mhm.
help people learn not to be afraid of emotional energy and how to release it. It's easy, it's fast, it saves you decades of misery. And those two areas are key. They're tools you can learn, skills like any other skill. And
Yep.
once you have that, you will feel in your power, like you were saying, Jane. And then when you're empowered, you can navigate life instead of being a victim of life. Very different experience.
Beautiful, Deborah. I love that. Yes, I love that that whole thing about emotions lasting only 90 seconds is pretty amazing
It is
when you
amazing.
think about it. But part of the problem is the thinking. If they don't have
Yes,
a handle on the thinking, that
exactly.
thinking keeps generating those emotions and then it's habitual and it goes on and on and on. So I love that you
We've all heard
start
the
with the
old one.
mind. Yeah, start with the mind, and because that that generates our emotions. So, what about subconscious
Yeah.
thoughts? Because we have a lot of thoughts that we can start to notice our thoughts and become aware of them. But what
Yes.
about the subconscious thoughts that we're not even really aware of?
Well, I teach people that your body is an example of your subconscious thoughts. They're not that hidden. Your body and your life show you what your subconscious beliefs are. And the other thing is that I help them by going into the energy field. This is where I can help rapidly speed up that process, bring what's unconscious into the conscious mind without years of talking about it,
Yeah.
without trying to convince anyone of anything. When I work in the energy field, which is the field of information that surrounds the body, the everything that's ever happened or thought or been felt is recorded in that field. Your field's like a recording device. It's
Hmm.
been turned on since you were in the womb, probably before, but
Yeah.
definitely from the womb on. And so what you are unaware of consciously is in that field. I can scan the field and find the disturbances and start to work with that, helping you release that. And often that's when people have awarenesses, have memories, have a flash of, oh my God, I know what to do now. It brings up the areas that are unhealed and helps move them out or bring them into people's awareness.
Hmm.
And so it doesn't take long. It can happen instantly for many people.
Hmm.
And we can bring what's called coherency, harmony back into the field, and the field communicates with the body and the mind and the emotions. And so this is what's the really this is the 21st century tool we've all been looking for, that happens at cyber speed, because nobody wants to spend 20 years talking about it anymore.
And
And
making
even
it worse.
right, yeah, and even when you do, you can't always find these things. Most people don't remember quite a few of the significant experiences and the traumas and the hurts from way, way back. People don't remember,
Hmm.
but they can be found in the energy field and rapidly come up and release. And this is the game changer.
Hmm.
So we don't have to worry. We just have to get to work.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you're so right that, if we our life, our physical bodies and everything we have in our life is a reflection of our thoughts, our habitual thinking and our emotions that result from that. So, Deborah, how do you see energy? Do you see like stuck energy in people's energy fields, like, or do you feel it? How does that work for you?
So I'm primarily a feeler, and I scan the field with my hands, and I feel instantly where the areas where I need to work.
Hmm.
And the areas where I need to work are not always where there's a problem. It's not stuck energy. There's disturbed information in that field. These are frequencies.
Right.
And certain frequencies will make you feel amazing and certain will make you feel like hell. And most people carry around a lot of the hellish frequencies because they weren't able to digest and process life and the pains of life and the hurts of life. Life is not all roses and unicorns, as I say. We're all pain. Everybody goes through some type of pain. That is part of the earthly experience, but they don't know how to process it and digest it and release it, so it gets stuck in the field. And I can feel it, find it, and help them release it, harmonizing that field with the frequencies they need, that will
Mm.
bring the field back into harmony. That will then, the field communicates with the cells of the body
Mhm.
and the mind and the emotions. It's all, see, the body, mind, and emotions are one complex. They're not
Yeah.
separate entities.
Yeah.
And then The field is the key, but I also do see the auric field. I can see colors. We are actually made of particles of light,
Hmm.
and I can see the body when it when it changes vibration and becomes a more subtle vibration. You see the body's made of light, and it's not really solid and physical. If you were to look under a high-powered piece of equipment, you would see that as well. I am able to access a state of consciousness where I can see that the body's wobbling light. But I don't work by doing anything visual. I work with my hands and sensing that energy field.
Hmm.
And the other thing that happens is that because of we know from physics, everything's about resonance, vibrational resonance. I carry in my field, in my consciousness, an awareness of the truth. And when people are in my presence, whether it's physically or virtually, it doesn't matter, they will begin to resonate with the vibration that I carry because I hold a stronger, more firm, um,
Can't be
I-
shaken.
exactly. I hold the space for them until they can begin to resonate at a higher vibration, a higher frequency that they need. And that can happen for some people instantly. For some people, it's a little slower process, but everyone can learn to resonate at the vibration of truth, which is that you and I and everyone, we are sovereign entities connected to source, connected to love, to God, to the divine mind, whatever you want to call it, the 0 point field. This is the truth of who we are. And people have forgotten. And as a result of forgetting, they lose touch with the bliss, with the love, and they start to vibrate at the fear level. And that's what has to change.
Mm. Yes. I think for myself, I know that I had that feeling because I can feel the difference now when I can get myself into that, what I call a love feeling. It's just like, okay,
Yes.
just get it going. And,
Yes.
I can slip out of it again too, but I know what
Yes.
it feels like. So it's like, okay, just keep coming back to that. Just keep coming back to that. But
It's a
it's,
practice.
yeah,
It's not a
absolutely.
one-time thing. This is why self-care is so important, and why you look at these ancient cultures and they all had daily practices. We have to
Hmm.
keep our consciousness in the right place because that old Deborah is right there lurking if I get out of whack, if I don't stay in that higher vibration, in that state, in that consciousness, she's back and it won't be fun.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So people can also do this themselves, right? Feel that loving feeling, or that presence, that blissful presence, and they just have to keep practicing it. So would you say that's a like good like at home self-care DIY tool?
Well, there are quite a few, and some of the basic ones that are the easiest to access if you do them regularly. Number one is deep breathing. You
Yes.
see, the deep belly breathing bypasses the intellect, and most people, the reason they're stuck is they're just in their head trying to figure it out. You will not figure out your pain, your patterns, your problems, your symptoms, your disease with the same mind that's holding it in place. You absolutely will not. You need a higher state of consciousness.
Mm,
And the quickest way to access that is get out of your head, drop into breathing, and override the head. And learn to be in quiet silence, stillness that's internal, and stop looking out there all the
mhm,
time for the guru. Go internal. And that you can access that also and reinforce that by being in nature. Nature understands this 24/7, and nature emits the frequency that we need in order to stay connected to nature because we are part of nature, but we often have lost that connection. Many people, they've completely lost the divine connection to being part of nature. But if you spend time in nature, barefoot on the earth in particular, that frequency will come up and literally reboot your system, your electrical system, to
yeah.
the right frequency. So if
Mm,
you're doing deep breathing, you're spending time alone quietly in a practice like meditation or high-speed healing, you are in nature, you can completely transform your life.
mhm,
And especially also if you just stop believing everything you think and start observing what you think and quit being identified with those thoughts and with those emotions, and just create some space between you and understand you have emotions, you have thoughts, but you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions.
mhm.
You have a body, but you are not your body. That's like saying you are your car. Here's the car to drive around.
Yeah.
Your spirit, which is what you are, your consciousness, which is what you are, utilizes a physical body as a vehicle on planet Earth to get around, but you are not your body. And
Mhm.
sometimes just that awareness, Jane, wow, that is enough for people to flip into the awakened state and
Yes.
their symptoms disappear. That alone can do it.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Those are such beautiful and easy tools for people. It, and it, I think hearing us talk, maybe it might flip some people to believe it, to believe that it's true. And really, why not give it a try? Why not try it for a while? Try it for a while and see how you feel. So those are
It's
so
all
nice.
about, yeah, it's all about an experience. And you
Yeah.
can't have an experience unless you're willing to do something differently than you've been currently doing. And most
Hmm.
people are just up here thinking the
Yeah.
same thoughts over and over and over and over, generating the same emotions over
Mhm.
and over and over and over, going around and around that hamster wheel and
Yeah.
thinking, how do I get out of here? You won't. You
Yeah.
have to do something different and use different tools if you want something to change. And you have to stop putting band-aids on symptoms and patching the hole with a band-aid that's not waterproof. It's going to fall
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. I love that. Those are great tools. So I want to give Anita is here live. So I'd love to give Anita an opportunity to ask you any questions or share anything. If you'd like to do, unmute yourself, Anita.
Okay, this is a thrill for me because when I met you on March 3rd,
Yes.
I've been doing the video just about every single night since
Okay.
we met.
Great.
I do Jane's in the morning and I do yours at night.
Wow.
Turn off the television and I skip the talk because
Yeah.
I want to get to where you said, okay, I'm going to have a little session with you now. I said, oh, yes. And so I start and I turn the lights off and the session begins. Now we're going to do one in silence and you're not even visible, but I did see your hands going a little like this at some point. And I use that as my tool every night. Sometimes you after it's over, you bring us back
Yeah.
and you're asking questions. And I'm well into the talk when I finally realize it's over.
I love it. I love
But
it.
sometimes I come back right away, but I say, gee, the whole thing's done.
Yes.
And I went off. I was gone.
Right. I love that.
And I think, I'm sure I'm tired. So I say, oh, I'm tired. But and then I go on when I can. I really want to move to the next level with you. I've had a few things I've had to deal with in my personal life that
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame anybody for holding myself back.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's
Yeah.
up to me. But I would love to go to the next step. And I know that is getting onto one of your sites
Yeah.
and then maybe even doing, a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Possibly because everything that Jane has taught, she's right in with what you're saying and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But the thing that really got me, you're gonna laugh, that made me love it so much
What?
is when you said you don't have to do anything.
Yes. Well,
That's what I wanted to hear. I'm tired of doing. I'm tired of, I gotta do this now. All right, now I
I
but
know.
somehow that was a meaning of letting go.
You're hitting on something so important. I think the majority of people on our planet, both men, women, have been trying so hard and
Oh
doing
yeah.
so
Yeah.
much and doing more and thinking if I think harder and do more, I'll feel better. And it's having the opposite effect. And they're doing all these things and they are exhausted and they need help. They need a leg up. And you're right. A lot of people, I don't laugh. I'm glad I can provide an opportunity to say, just lie down and let me do the work. And people are like,
Beautiful.
are you kidding me? I get to relax and make
Exactly.
So thank you for saying that. I think you're going to help
It's
a lot of
fabulous.
people.
That's really, really fabulous. And I can feel the difference. The
Great.
combination of my morning behavior, what Jane has taught with the meditation, the affirmations, all of that, the stretching and getting, writing, but it's such a gift to come at night and to say, I was panicked. I couldn't find it in the beginning because I felt it right away.
Yeah.
And then I found it. Now it's number one on my Facebook page. So, and I said, oh, I wonder if she'll do it again today. I'm thinking I'll have another one to do. Now you'll see me again. I came on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
You were on this past week.
Right.
And just hundreds of people are on there. I mean, and I love when you say, you really are unique in that you're wanting to do this, that we're unique in some ways.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
It's here.
You're so right. See, most people are thinking they're going to find it in a pill, a potion, a lotion, a book, somewhere.
The guru.
Actually, yeah, in the guru. And the guru is you.
Mm-hmm.
But it does require getting quiet and going inward, which is the last place anybody wants to look.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are actually afraid. And I understand. I used to be one of those people, afraid to close their eyes and go inside and be quiet. They're afraid of what they're going to find and what they're going to feel. And I was one of those people. And it was terrifying to me, actually. I didn't want to be hearing and feeling and thinking those thoughts. That's what I was trying to avoid by drinking and drugs and eating and ice cream and shopping and sleeping. Like, I was trying to get away from all that was inside of me. Little did I know that's the key to healing.
That's what a lot of people are doing. They're buffering is a term some people use, buffering by, watching Netflix or doing the shopping or drinking or partying or all of these things, anything but be alone with themselves.
Bypass, right?
Yeah.
And my very first mentor said, Deb, you can't go over, under, or around. You have to go through. And when you do that, the truth is the shortcut.
Threading the needle.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I was terrified, but oh my God, had I known, right? We all say this, if I wish I'd known this 10 years ago. And, we can't beat ourselves up, and time is perfect. When people wake up, it's the perfect time for them. We're going to be alive somewhere in some form into eternity. So It really doesn't matter when you wake up. You just want to wake up now in this now.
I love that, Deborah. I know you've got some other commitments. I don't know if we have time to do a little HighSpeed Healing thing or.
We do.
You do?
We have time for a demo today. Let's do it.
Yay!
You've made Anita's day.
Oh my God. I saw just today that you were going to be on. I said, oh, if I hadn't read that today, I would have been bereft. Totally bereft. I think both of you are really, wow, having a major impact on my life, a major. And I can transfer it. And another thing is not to take in anybody else's stuff. They got to handle their own. I can't take in anybody else's. People talk about this. I don't need to know that. That's their business. And I want to stay within what I got to deal with, which is enough. And I'm happy.
It's more than enough. This is one of the key reasons people are in pain and suffering and have diseases and depression. And they're way too open, and they're minding other people's business that is
no more.
And when you discover and practice what Jane and I are teaching and talking about, you will understand what a real boundary means and is a healthy boundary.
Exactly.
Stop saying yes when you mean no, and you will stop allowing all the parasites in, and you will become stronger and more clear. Life actually gets easier, right? There's less to worry about.
Yeah.
Most of it's none of my business.
That's right.
There we go. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to mute, and Anita can mute, and Deborah, we'll let you do your thing.
All right.
Your magical thing.
All right. Happy to provide. So just one thing, if you are driving, do not continue. You want to turn this off until you're in a safe place, sitting or lying down, and then you can begin this portion of the demonstration. Otherwise, find a comfortable place, sit back, lie down if you can, and close your beautiful eyes. And I'd like you to begin to notice your breathing and just feel what it feels like to inhale through your nose, through your nostrils, and open your mouth and let out a big sigh when you exhale, and let every drop go. Relax your low belly and draw the breath from your low belly up into your beautiful heart as you inhale through your nose, and take your time, there's no rush. And then open your mouth and exhale a big sigh. Again, relax your low belly and draw the breath from the belly up into your beautiful heart, and go at a pace that works for you. And fill up, 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 and then open your mouth and exaggerate your exhale and let every drop go. And as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice and you continue to breathe, take another round or two of the deep belly breath, exhaling out of your mouth, and feel yourself relaxing. And feel the weight of your body sinking down into the cushions beneath you, holding you up, allowing the support for your body so that you can relax and let go. And then begin to breathe normally and naturally in and out through your nose, the way you normally breathe. Easy, effortless breathing. And listen to the sound of my voice. And I want you to remember to let me do all the work here. There's nothing for you to do. Just listen to my voice and allow your body to move. If it starts to move in any way on its own, or if you feel like moving at any time in any way, let your body move in any way at any time. The other thing I want you to pay attention to is your inner experience. And I want you to begin to notice what's going on inside you. You may start to feel certain sensations in your body or around your body. Just notice that if you do, without trying to analyze or stop or fix or figure anything out, even if it makes no sense, even if it's uncomfortable. Just let those sensations be there and notice them without doing anything about them. You may begin to notice, even with your eyes closed, that you start to see something like colors, shapes, images. There's no right or wrong. You may or may not see anything. But if you do, just notice this without trying to figure anything out. Just observe what you see with your eyes closed. Let it be there without trying to change it and without judging anything as good or bad, right or wrong. You may begin to hear certain sounds inside of you or around you. Just notice them if you do, without trying to change them. Now remember, you cannot do it wrong, and there's no way you can block the healing frequencies, so relax your mind. There's nothing to figure out. Even if it seems like nothing is happening, that's actually okay too. Just allow that and notice that nothing's happening. Or if you think you're imagining things and making it up, that's okay too. Just notice that you're thinking that. You cannot do it wrong. Just observe what you notice without trying to judge it as good or bad, right or wrong, without trying to fix it or figure it out, without stopping it. You may notice pain coming up. Let it come up. It's energy coming up and moving out. You may notice different things coming up that are uncomfortable. Let them come up. You may have emotions bubble up. You may have thoughts come up. Let them come up, even if it's uncomfortable. It's the energy patterns coming up and moving. Energy moves rapidly on its own. It doesn't need your help. Allow it to be there. You may have memories flash across your mind. Let that be there without analyzing, even if it makes no sense. You absolutely cannot do this wrong. Just observe your experience and let it be just the way it is. If you're noticing pressure in your head, a headachy feeling, or even nausea, do not be alarmed. You're perceiving the healing frequencies and it can feel uncomfortable or like pressure in the head. There's no need for concern. Let whatever happens happen. No harm can come to you. You are safe. Observe and allow and let your body move. That's it. Simple, easy. And we're going to take 1 minute in complete silence now. And you may feel even more relaxed as we do this. So here we go into the silence. You'll hear my voice when it's time to come back and when we're complete. Here we go. Enjoy the silence. And now very, very slowly become aware of the sound of my voice and all the sounds around you, and begin to deepen your breathing and feel yourself becoming more alert, more awake, more aware, and staying very, very relaxed. And take a deep, long breath in and out now. Feel yourself becoming more alert, more awake, more aware. And take another deep breath in and out now. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. And take one more breath in and out, more awake and alert, and come all the way back, wide awake, alert, and slowly, gently take your time, come all the way back and open your beautiful eyes, wide awake. Well, I could tell the two of you could feel something. That was obvious.
That was lovely.
What
Yeah,
did you notice?
I my head was nodding, but I just felt immediately peaceful, and I started noticing this happens to me a lot when I close my eyes that I see eyes.
Yes. Well, you're seeing through the true eye, the third eye, which is the true inner vessel to
Right.
to the higher information that's always present. And you clearly, you were demonstrating what happens is that you couldn't even hold the weight of your head at times because, and had you been lying down, you probably would have really let go. But this helps
Yeah.
people drop into a deeper brainwave state, like within seconds. Even people who have never meditated and they don't know what that means, their mind gets quiet, they feel relaxed, and they drop into a state of consciousness where there is no dis-ease and where they get that information seeing rightly instead of being in the intellect, which is shut off from the higher information that's in your field and connected to the cosmos. And this is what's so profound is everything we need to know is at our fingertips, but we just keep seeing through this limited lens until we open up that cosmic consciousness.
Mm. And so while we were doing this, you're projecting this resonant field of resonance that's helping us become resonant with that. Is that what happens?
Think of like tuning forks. So
Yes.
I am a conduit for all of these higher vibrational frequencies, and I am able to transmit through me um, vibrational frequencies and the bandwidth, a very wide bandwidth, and you will resonate with what you need with me. You will begin to resonate with me because I hold a firmer, higher vibration.
Mhm.
And that then what is a low frequency drops out of your field. You become more harmonious, comfortable. This is how the physical body can actually change. It's incredible. But see, when you're at a different, higher state of consciousness, there is no disease. And
Mhm.
this is what explains instantaneous healing. I have had clients report cysts gone, tumors gone, thyroid issues, digestive drama, eyesight improved, the spine change. I had a 92-year-old woman grow 2 inches in one session because her spine completely straightened. This is very, very common in my world. The discs, everything's come back into the proper alignment. People report constantly. They feel like hands-on chiropractic and they're in another country. I've seen everything under the sun that people would say that's impossible. No, it's not impossible. It's a vibrational shift. And the physical body is vibration. And when it goes back into the coherent wave form, it reforms in perfection instead of dis-ease. And
Mm.
that is like, think of sound, it's sound waves. Sound changes water. There's plenty of studies to show that
That's right.
sound changes the structure of water. Your body is a bag of 99% water.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing in sound waves that are communicating with that water, changing the structure of that water. And this is why people have miraculous healing. It's not miraculous, it's physics.
I love that. And we know that tuning forks, for example, will all, you set one off, the others will start vibrating, or
Right.
pendulum clocks, right?
Yep.
Pendulums will all, or metronomes will all start moving together because there is no separation. So
It's
I
so
love that.
interesting when I watch people's eyes, their eyes will often follow my hand. Their eyes are closed, but they, like a metronome, their eyes will follow my hands like a tracking device. The optic nerve, I'm sure, has something to do with the dissemination of the information and the frequencies, and the eyes just track. And the cats and dogs, their ears do it too. It's
Mhm.
fascinating.
Now, did you do something? Did you feel in either of us anything, or you weren't looking for that?
I'm not going to give you a psychic reading. I
No,
don't
I
work.
don't mean that, but
But by the time, yeah, I scan the field and
oh, you do.
and anyone, it's a group thing. So anyone watching the recording will be affected. It's not just for you personally.
Right.
But you will have an individual result,
I
even when
see.
I'm doing this for a group of unlimited size. So you will have what you need. You will start to resonate with the frequencies you need. But yeah, I feel a ton of things, and I hear tones the whole time, and
Wow.
lots going on for me. But I don't need to explain or analyze that, because by the time I've worked with it, it's already changed. And
Yeah.
again, this is the mind wanting to figure it out and understand, and I just won't go there with people.
That's a good boundary. I
Well,
like.
that's why I like to do it, because I feel the difference every day.
Well, it was obvious you were responding. And in fact, you were having certain signs of releasing. Were you
Yeah.
aware of some things coming up that were uncomfortable for you?
A few things, yeah.
Yeah. And they were
Childhood
coming up
stuff,
and moving out. See, that's
childhood yawning a lot. I yawn a lot.
when the yawning is actually a sign of going into the deeper brainwave state and relaxing. And that's why when you do these sessions, you're not just yawning, you're going into a deep state, and you're letting go and releasing. And that swallowing, there's quite a few signs of it, but yawning is one of the most
And
noticed.
a deep yawn. I mean, my whole body goes like this at night. It just, I mean, I never used to do it just like a normal, but the whole hand has to go too.
Right.
And I say, boy, if I hadn't done this, I never would have gotten this relaxed tonight.
That's right. You're letting go of what I call the plaque of the day. We build up plaque from
That's
life.
right.
And if you don't have a tool for releasing, you're going to build it up.
That's right.
And this is why, meditators, it takes years to really reap the benefits. I mean, it's practice, but with high-speed healing, the beauty of it is it works faster than a meditation practice. So for people who've never meditated, refuse to meditate, don't want to meditate, but they know they need something, this can help them anyway. And then it often makes them open to things like being in nature or meditation or yoga or tai chi or art or music or dance or whatever it is that helps you become present and
That's
let
right.
go of what isn't really yours or your
Yes.
business, as you so beautifully put, Anita,
Yeah.
that you're carrying around.
Yeah, that's right.
Deborah, this has been so fantastic. What a beautiful gift you gave to our
Boom,
audience
boom,
as
boom,
well,
boom, boom.
to give them this healing session, because whether you're watching or listening, doesn't even
Yes.
matter when, you're still getting the benefit. So people can reach you at the International Chronic Pain Institute. So internationalcpi.com is your website, and I will share all of your links, all your social media links in the comments. But I know you've got a gift as well.
Yes.
So
A gift,
yeah.
oh goody.
I would love to give everyone a copy of my best-selling book, Why Do I Still Hurt? This was written for those of you who cannot figure it out, and you're hurting and you've tried everything and nothing's worked, or it hasn't lasted. You have not gotten the results you've wanted. This will go into a deeper conversation that we began today to help you discover the hidden reasons for pain patterns and symptoms for all
That's
your
right.
problems that you've been searching for. Read the book. It will start your healing process. It's not just a book you read, it's actually a book you do, and gives you exercises to get that unconscious mind that Jane talked about moving and shaking you up and getting it out. So read the book. If you want a copy that you can download, that you can underline and dog ear, you have to go to Amazon. But for a digital copy, go to the website, internationalcpi.com. And you can download a book to any device. So enjoy, and I would love to hear what results you discover after doing.
Thank you so much.
Deborah, what a great gift. I love that book. I've read it.
Wow.
Yep. So internationalcpi.com/gift to get Deborah's gift. And this has been such a gift to have you today, Deborah. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
We will meet again.
I'm
promise.
so honored. Anita, thank you for being here. And
Jane, such a
Jane,
pleasure. Thank you,
so
Jane,
much.
dear cousin. Love you both. Bye-bye.
You both.
Bye.